So let's skip forward. We talk about the raids with Diddy. We know he's arrested now. All these things are coming out. It's hard to know what's real, what's not. And so at the top of the show, you're talking about the sex worker stuff, bodyguard stuff. Like what's the most recent and most compelling stuff in your opinion when it comes to the Diddy?
Well, right before we got on, you told me we need to talk about the sex worker that just turned in a tape to the feds.
Yeah,
so I was posting that in short form online and reading all the comments, and everyone was like, why are you giving it to the feds? Just leak the damn sex tape. Which is because now it's like, now we're never going to see it. But then everyone's like, why would you want to see it? But apparently it's a story I've heard before. I don't know if any of you guys watching remember, but I think it was about a year ago, maybe less, that some guy who actually followed my Kanye's post page, coincidentally, he posted a video at the airport talking about some guy he met at an airport that was a male sex worker that flew to, I believe, Miami to have sex with someone that Diddy set him up with. And he basically said that he went into this really weird mansion and there was like a man behind the curtain and Diddy was there was like a bed in the middle of a room and it was really, really dark, kind of demonic. And this guy posted this, I believe it, I have to fact check, but I'm trying to find the video. I'm pretty sure it was long before the lawsuits. People believed him though. They were like, oh, that sounds like Diddy. He's freaky.
Sounds about right.
But now today, a similar story just came out where a male prostitute just leaked. I guess they turned over a video that apparently Diddy filmed to the feds. Male prostitute turns an alleged videotape of Diddy freak off to feds. And in this, he also gives the feds what he believes was Diddy's drug of choice, because that's obviously people are allowed to have sex. But the real issue here is that, like it says in the New York Post, the freak-offs would last days, rife with sexual abuse, illegal drugs, and trafficked prostitutes.
Right.
So how do you define a prostitute that was willingly hired and just like, because I know the other guy said he was just taking the money. But this one, I'm wondering, what's the difference?
Yeah, it depends what's going on, you know?
Like when they force him into it?
I believe, my gut says it's probably getting powerful people in compromising positions who are cheating, you know, having affairs, doing things they shouldn't be doing to hold over their heads. And when you talk about the male prostitute stuff, it makes me think of a giant Democratic donor. I believe his name was Ed Buck. Remember Ed Buck? I could be wrong on the name, but it's Ed something. And he was a big California Democratic donor. I think they found like 3 dead male prostitutes in his home throughout, like at different times. I don't know if he got in trouble or not yet, but you know, for people listening who are like, this is, you know, this story sounds crazy, just this random story. It is connected.
It doesn't sound crazy. Everybody is basically gay, we're finding out, which is fine. But I wonder, is it their sexual preference or are they forced into being homosexual?
I mean, it could be any number of things. You know, people talk about the Usher, the Bieber, Meek Mill stuff. That's my job.
That's what I'm doing tonight.
So, I mean, what do you make of that? So where do we even start? You know, there's allegations and there are even some audio, that's so easy to fake these days, especially if it's audio. But, you know, there's people out there saying Diddy had his way, we'll say, with these guys. I
just got a text. Buck went to jail.
Oh, wow. There we go. Sweet.
Every minute, it's like it's too much information. Every minute,
yeah.
You know,
we're in. That's why I felt like we have to do this now.
I'm also into finally this dark demonic industry finally getting unraveled in front of our eyes.
Oh yeah, I mean it's hard to watch. I think a lot of people still have a hard time digesting just how evil it is, and a lot of people prefer to look away.
Oh, Ed Buck.
Ed Buck. It was Ed Buck. All right, sweet.
Someone watching just texted me.
Thank you.
The guy Shane talked about went to jail.
Sick. Wow. Well, that's good. I wonder how long it took him to go to jail.
It's not a new Diddy update.
But it sounds like something that's going on with Diddy and all these people. But let's go back to what we were saying about, you know, Usher and Bieber. What do you make of those allegations? You think there's anything to that? Because there's weird videos.
Sure. I mean, yeah, because there's a video where Usher talks about going to, what was it, Diddy camp as a kid. And then there's a really weird video of Diddy and Usher that's been going around where he's like, we used to wrestle for cereal, haha. And like Usher's like, That's
weird.
It's almost like they're both telling the same story.
Right.
It's a totally different day, but it's from different perspectives.
And there's just...
And then I'm pretty sure Usher signed Justin Bieber.
Right. So it seems like there's some type of like...
If we want to get really weird with it, I don't know how weird your audience is,
Very.
but JK Ultra came on and did an MK Ultra podcast, and she talked about how she believes that the MK Ultra celebrities are pre-selected at birth. And one of the requirements is that they have to have a single parent because those kids are easier to abuse.
Whoa.
So if you think about it, Bieber had no dad in the picture. Also, Kanye, no dad in the picture, really. Like, we know he has a dad, but not in the picture.
Yep.
Sounds like
So
GATE program.
Tell us about the GATE program.
The GATE program?
Yeah.
So GATE program is it's real, but I guess the legend of it is that it's a front used to promote children that are gifted, but they're actually looking for situations like you're describing, like people with broken households that have been traumatized by the age of like 6 or 8, because they're easy to fragment their psyche and use them as assets, whether it's in entertainment, if like they figure out what your skills are and where you'll be applied. And that's been something I've noticed people talking about a lot lately, is like, I was in the GATE program and this is what I experienced. And like, they teach you to not remember what you learned, except for when you're in there. It's kind of like Severance, the TV show, where like you're programmed to not remember what you talked about, except for when you're at GATE program.
Wow.
And it's like a during school and after school program, and they push you into the fields that you're strong in, and to like, whether if you're somebody that's remarkable, you're going to be in this field. If you're somebody that is like visually or talent-wise unremarkable, you probably have a strength somewhere else, and they're going to utilize you there. And a lot of the discussions I've heard about it is that it does highly center around like major metropolitan areas, because there's more cases of like of single parent households or trauma, or like you said, it's not just celebrities that we keep seeing have that situation. It's people that commit like crimes that are. It's
like, look at the assassins. I'm pretty sure most of the assassins we're seeing probably were or people that may have partook at a notable event at a school, to say it lightly. But there's a weird. We were actually just talking about that before we went live, and like when you said that, the weird part is like a lot of people they confuse it, because then people go, "Am I MK Ultra?" And it's because that programming that you're talking about mirrors regular trauma. So it's hard to distinguish the difference. So it's like structured trauma. Could just be traumatized, but these are trauma-induced programs.
I think the whole country's expanded into one giant trauma-induced program.
We're all trauma bonded.
And by
Diddy.
Well, before that, I mean, you name the event. There's been so many.
I think the pandemic trauma bonded everybody, and I think that's when things got really weird.
Right. Well, and Epstein happened right before that.
I think that's when my mental health declined. It was during the pandemic, sure.
Mine just shot up through the roof. I was never better.
That's great.
No, it was very interesting to be isolated and lose all your friends, while also questioning the fabric of reality at every possible level. And now here we are talking about Diddy, who, for people around our age, this is like our childhood now, that was inundated with Puff Daddy, Bad Boy Records, East Coast, West Coast rap beef, MTV. Now everything from then is now being turned around. And I
think you need to write an article about the Tupac Biggie. I think that's your wheelhouse, Shane.
Maybe.
Because you know so much about hip hop. I think that would be a good one for you
I should. What I've been hearing is that, and it's interesting, is that perhaps Diddy had them both taken out. For various purposes. For one easy one is just like the amount of money people make off those corpses. Like, look how much money Bad Boy Records made, and whoever owned Bad Boy after Life After Death came out.
Did you see the video of Biggie like rubbing his like head against Diddy?
No.
Like it was so like, there's all these videos surfacing now of Biggie and Tupac where they look extremely gay, and it's like, what?
Well, people are sharing the old video of Tupac as well, when he was back when he was a dancer. Because he definitely, that's not the Tupac I knew. I also know
this.
he was a dancer. That's bizarre.
He's rubbing his hand. Diddy's here, and this is Biggie. He's got his chunky face, just going, your skin feels really good. It's very weird.
Like, is it AI? You think it's real?
Yeah, I think it's real. I mean,
So
how do we know?
I mean, that's the thing is like when I talk about questioning everything about reality, even the things I'm hearing,
I think a lot of the how I've been like filtering out misinformation is I remember seeing a lot of these videos before.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. There's so much that's been out there that we're seeing now under a new light. The only thing I worry about is there's so much propaganda that they get a certain idea in your mind and then they put an old video under like a new light, and now you redefine it in your mind with the propaganda that you've been given. It's like, I'm pretty certain Diddy's bad, and I've heard various stories.
Bold claim.
No, I think he's diabolical. He is diabolical.
But
he is the definition of diabolical.
For sure. But there's also been major people in the news who've been, the media has been weaponized against them, and the public has been convinced that they're bad people. Right. Like, and I don't.
Right. But I don't think that's the case here.
I don't. But I have to think about it, even though I think Diddy's bad and everything we see. So like, one bit of weird, that thing with the Meek Mill audio, which is crazy.
I was just going to bring Meek Mill up.
So what's up? What is that connection? And what do you think about what they say about that? Because he's really upset and he's hiring a private firm to investigate anyone who mentions Meek Mill.
I'm pretty sure that his name was redacted in one of the lawsuits and in the indictment, but I'll have to fact check it. But I'm pretty sure everyone was countering that yesterday by saying he was one of the rappers listed in one of the lawsuits. I'll have to double check, but it might have been the Little Rod lawsuit.
Interesting. As like a bad actor or someone who's...
I think bad actor.
Huh.
Maybe a co-conspirator. Could be a victim too, turned villain. That's a lot of the people I think we're seeing in this that were co-conspirators.
Right.
We're also seeing Ashton Kutcher a lot, which is interesting because he had the trafficking organization, but he stepped down after the Danny Masterson case. And he got a lot of flack for supporting Masterson. And now Ashton's coming. There's all these old videos of him talking about Diddy parties.
That's right.
And when they're looking down, they're usually recalling a memory.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying like, "Oh, I can't talk about that. I'll get in trouble. I can't talk about that. I'll get in trouble."
It's so weird.
But then there's people putting rumors out. Oh, Mila Kunis is already leaving him, and I don't want to buy into every rumor yet because everybody on TikTok thinks they're Candace Owens now. So
it's true.
I'm avoiding even going on camera. Like I hate those videos where it's like the news is like on the green screen behind you, and then it's some random person from the Midwest telling me some theory that's totally not even true.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I was saying too when talking about what do I believe when I don't believe, because there's so many rumors happening. And I'm reluctant to believe so many, especially the ones that confirm whatever biases I might have against these people, like the Jay-Z rumors.
Exactly. I honestly, the Jay-Z one, I can't get behind yet.
Yeah.
Everybody wants him to go down.
Yeah, I do.
People just want him to go down.
I do. I don't like Jay-Z at all. I've never liked Jay-Z. I don't like him as an artist. I don't like him as a person. I know people who know him personally who don't like him. But hey, everyone's got different flavors.
Why don't they like him?
Because he's a jerk and uncreative. I think he's a good businessman. But he might also be propped up by institution, the same one that propped up Diddy. I think he's a terrible businessman when it comes to his record label, because he puts out a lot of artists, or he signs a lot of artists that don't do anything. When it comes to rap, he signed Jay Electronica, someone I really like, and Jay Electronica's career is just like nothing. And it's weird.
He doesn't really help the artists after he signs them.
It doesn't seem like it. And then people can make the argument that Kanye did the same with Good Music. A lot of people who were signed to Good Music didn't really go anywhere. Whereas a lot of people Diddy signed became major.
Right. I mean, just because Diddy did a lot of bad things, like there's obviously things that he did that were good. I don't know if I should even say that.
But there's music that he put out that I still like.
Okay, I'll Be
his
Missing You
solo
is my
stuff.
one of my. I do that at karaoke.
Which
Both
one?
parts, even the high Faith Evans part.
I love that record. I really did. That's like when I was really inheriting my love of so much music, whether it was pop or rap.
Yeah.
Those are really epic times. But he's not like the creative force behind it.
But
No.
also, like, I mean, it was a Sting cover. But now
there's that.
that is true that he put a hit out on Biggie, and you see him on stage in that all red outfit dancing. It's like pray. It's like gets really cryptic.
I think he's a pawn in a vessel. Honestly, like I don't think he's creative.
Of who though?
Well, we don't know yet. I'm just going to say Obama. I'm just going to say Obama. Is that what you want me to
People
say?
think Clive Davis. They think Clive Davis.
I don't think it's that. I think it's beyond the music industry. I think it's,
I think so too.
Yeah,
I don't think it's. I think we're not looking for an.
Clive is too. He's too peripheral. Not peripheral, but like he's not that far away in terms of power from Diddy. I think this
is all intelligence agencies that infiltrated the music industry, right?
Yes, I think that's a lot of it for sure. For sure.
And how do you feel about? I think it was Candace that posted that the CIA infiltrated hip hop, and do you believe that?
Yeah, they infiltrate everything. They infiltrate the podcast world. They infiltrate influencer world. They infiltrate modern art to help subvert the idea of modern art in terms of what Russia was doing about modern art. Like I told you in the beginning, they subverted the counterculture. They get their dirty hands on everything. So that doesn't mean that every rap thing that came out from the 90s or now is touched by the CIA, because Ice Cube gets really mad when you bring this up. Because he says,
"How do you
I wrote all
get a
my
job at the
raps."
CIA?
Well, this is an interview right now, and you're at Laurel Canyon.
No, because I wonder, like, are you born into it, or is it?
Who knows?
I wonder, are you pre-selected? Like, I wonder how they choose.
I bet it's many ways. I bet.
Or is it just a normal government process that you apply?
There's
submit
that.
your birth certificate. And
I believe there's that. I believe there's also people who get caught doing bad things who are really good at doing those bad things. That the CIA is like, we need you. In terms of hackers. How many hackers have had the CIA hired? Right. It could be gangsters who are really good at their job. And then, there's obviously like lizards cloning people in CIA basements who they, raised to be.
I mean, look at the
undercover
guy that
agents.
took me out that's arrested now by the FBI. That was a hacker.
Is that something you can get into at some point?
I can get into a little bit into it right now.
I mean, like you've experienced maybe one of the crazier years